started in the Border Patrol in 1984. I've been at this for over 40 years. I worked for 6 presidents, starting with Ronald Reagan. Every president I ever worked for took border security seriously, because you can't have national security if you don't have strong border security. We got to know who's coming in, what's coming in, where's coming in, why it's coming in, right? Even President Obama and President Clinton took some steps to secure the border because they understood national security was important. Joe Biden was the first president in the history of this nation who came into office and unsecured the border on purpose. That's just a fact.
Each of these leaders, regardless of their political affiliation, recognized a fundamental truth. You cannot have strong national security without strong border security. The safety of our citizens, the integrity of our nation's sovereignty, and the very future of America depend on knowing who is entering our country, what they are bringing with them, where they are going, and why they are coming. During the administrations of Presidents Clinton, Bush, Obama, and Trump, while strategies differed, there was a shared understanding that the border had to be secured as a matter of national interest. Even President Obama, often criticized by some conservatives, took notable steps to strengthen border security, including increased enforcement and deportations. Border security was seen not just as a political issue, but as a responsibility to the American people. However, that long-held, bipartisan commitment changed dramatically in 2021. President Joe Biden became the first president in U.S. history to actively dismantle border security policies that had proven effective, doing so on purpose and with devastating results. When President Trump left office, he handed over the most secure border I had seen in my lifetime, thanks to firm policies like the Remain in Mexico program, the construction of new border barriers, and stricter asylum processes. In a short time, those policies were unraveled, leading to record-breaking numbers of illegal crossings, the rise of dangerous criminal activities, and tragic humanitarian crises at our southern border.
We handed the Biden administration, after President Trump's first administration, we handed the Biden administration the most secure border in my lifetime, and he unsecured it on purpose. Now President Trump and this administration here, the success is unprecedented. We beat Trump's first administration on border success. Border numbers are historic low. Today, as I'm standing here, we have the most secure border in the history of this nation, and the numbers prove it. President Trump's policies are saving lives every day. There's been studies done that says 31% of women that make that journey through use of cartels get sexually assaulted. When President Trump has illegal immigration down 96%, when 96% less people are coming, how many women aren't being sexually assaulted by the cartels? How many children aren't dying making that journey? How many women and children aren't being sex trafficked into this nation? How many known suspected terrorists aren't making it into this country? How many pounds of fentanyl isn't getting to this country to kill young Americans? How many women and children aren't sex trafficked? Under Joe Biden, sex trafficking is up 600%. We had 4,000 aliens dying making that journey. We had 250,000 Americans dead from fentanyl that came across an open border. President Trump's policy saves lives every day. Even the border wall saves lives. The people want to hate on the border wall. Every place a border barrier has been built, illegal migration's declined, illegal drug flows declined. But you know what no one talks about? The border wall saves lives. Because the most vulnerable, the women and children, can't get over that wall, which means they're going to a place where there's not a wall. And what's waiting on them? The men and women of the United States Border Patrol, who will take care of those humanitarian needs, the health needs, right off the bat.
What we have witnessed is not simply a political disagreement about immigration policy. It has been a national security disaster with real, painful consequences. Human trafficking surging by 600% record numbers of fentanyl deaths in American communities, and the tragic loss of lives among vulnerable migrants exploited by cartels. The facts are undeniable. Under the Biden administration, daily illegal crossings often surpass 12,000 to 15,000 individuals, while known gotaways people seen entering illegally but not apprehended averaged over 1,800 per day. Today, thanks once again to President Trump's leadership and policies being reinstated, we are witnessing an unprecedented turnaround. Illegal crossings have plummeted to levels not seen in decades, and the border is becoming secure once more. This isn't just about numbers. It's about saving lives, saving women and children from exploitation, saving Americans from drug overdoses, and restoring order and safety to our nation. The commitment of the brave men and women of the Border Patrol and ICE who put on the badge, strap on their weapons, and wear body armor every day has never wavered. Their sacrifice and dedication deserve not only recognition, but support from leaders who understand that securing our borders is securing America's future. Today, I want to share with you the truth about what has happened at our border, the real human costs of failed policies, and the historic success we are now achieving once again.
We just rolled the numbers, and let me talk about a few numbers that are important to me. Under the Biden administration, we averaged over 11,000 many days, over 12,000, even some days 15,000 illegal entrants in the United States. 15,000. You know what the number was the last 24 hours? 178. 15,000 to 178. Unprecedented success. On an average day in the Biden administration, known gotaways. People we knew crossed the border because they're on video, drone traffic, or sensor traffic. Crossed the border, weren't apprehended, weren't fingerprinted, weren't vetted. Average day under Joe Biden, more than 1,800 gotaways. Yesterday, 38. 38 too many? We'll get that to zero. But we went from 1,800 to 38. And finally, that was said earlier, under the first 100 days, or it was actually January 20th to April 1st, last year, 184,000 illegal aliens were released into the United States. Under this administration, 9. 4 of them were material witnesses in a criminal investigation. We need them here to testify in a serious criminal trial. 4 was extreme medical condition. We couldn't return them because they were in such bad shape. And 1 was a humanitarian issue. This is unprecedented success. The border is secure. President Trump saving lives. President Trump has proven no one does this better than President Trump. There is no equal, it's not even close. So God bless the men and women of the Border Patrol. God bless the men and women of ICE who strap a gun to the hip every day, put on a Kevlar vest to not only secure our border and protect our national security, but the ICE agents in the interior, they're removing public safety threats and national security threats every day. While you're all sleeping at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, there are men and women out there enforcing the law and making this country safe again. And we're going to keep doing it. It's full speed ahead. So I'll leave it at that.
Awesome.